Here are 2 underrated 90s hip-hop albums that I would induct into my own personal cult canon. Lots of underrated hip-hop albums from the 90s. I just wanted to talk about 2 that left an impression on me personally. And if you like this sort of thing, why don't you give me a follow? I cover all sorts of genres. First up, from 1999, I got Q-Tip's Amplified. This album has its fair share of admirers, but I never see it on any best of lists, which is too bad because it's up there for me personally. I remember at the time there was a lot of pushback at Q-Tip for going too commercial with his sound. I thought it was dumb then. I definitely think it's a moot point now. For me, it was really refreshing to hear Q-Tip letting loose and having fun, which he wasn't doing with Tribe at the time due to their internal conflicts as a group. Q-Tip has never been one of those rappers where I'm hanging on his every word, but it's his voice and all-around cool that make him really listenable, and I think in that respect he's in top form here. The album is produced almost entirely by Q-Tip and Jay Dilla with a couple tracks from DJ Scratch, and I gotta say, I think this is some of Dilla's best work. I mean, he's just absolutely in the zone during this period. This is A-tier Dilla for me. The track Let's Ride has that addictive, jazzy guitar loop that feels like a continuation of his work on The Roots' Dynamite. Go Hard and Breathe and Stop introduced the more mechanical, electronic sound palette Dilla would lean into a bit more in the 2000s. Vibrant Thing, an absolute classic, and I'm still bummed Vibrant didn't really enter the lexicon. We gotta bring Vibrant back. It's a near perfect album for me, and I say near perfect because there is a song with Jonathan Davis from Korn, and it's still one of the worst songs I've heard in my life. Didn't like it then, don't like it now. Admire the swing, but not even Dilla can save this one. It's a rough one. Avoid it at all costs. For me personally, I like this more than the Love Movement, and it feels like a more honest and accurate reflection of where Q-Tip was at the time. One of my favorite rap albums of the 90s. I'll always ride for this one. Next up, I got Kool Keith with 1999's Black Elvis, Lost in Space. This was his major label debut for Columbia, but for me, none of his patented weirdness was sanded down. And as far as the album's long tail is concerned, let's just say Riff Raff wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Black Elvis. For this album, Kool Keith inhabits the character Black Elvis, which proves to be the perfect vehicle for a meta commentary on a major label debut. For me, the thing Kool Keith does so well on this record is critique celebrity and industry in a way that's not only pointed, but also surreal and super funny. At a time when people could be kind of preachy about this stuff, he was not. Nowhere is this more apparent than on The Girls Don't Like the Job, where he inhabits this executive character with this hyper-specific, incredibly funny character work. At one point, he talks about starting a basketball team called the Baldwin Hills Spacemen, and then goes into detail about their logo and color scheme. I mean, details matter, and Kool Keith is giving us a lot here that's so unexpected and vivid. Kool Keith handled most of the production here, and while he's no automator, I will say his weird strand of space funk does have its own charms. The beat for Master of the Game sounds like peak Timbaland after a bottle of Jack Daniels, and Roger Troutman sounds so good on it. I love Kool Keith. I love his ability to just say the name of the song in a weird way and have that be the chorus. One of the most singular voices in rap. This album deserves more love. All right, those are 2 inductees into my own personal cult canon. I'll be back with more.